Well, we may be nearing the end of the current school year, but it is already time to start thinking about next fall, especially if someone in your family is going to college.
Yes, indeed. Financial aid is crucial for many families, and there are ways to make sure you're getting the most money possible. Joining us now is Ron Ramsdell, president of College Aid Consulting Services, right here in Minneapolis. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you guys, too. Now, right off the bat, you say that, and this probably should be obvious, and if you're in the midst of college-age kids, you know this, parents need to be applying now for their financial aid.
Well, they should have been applying as of right January 1st this year for the academic year 2011-12, starting this fall. Parents who have juniors and sophomores in high school should be thinking about this process right now. There's things they can do right now in these years that's going to affect their eligibility and other aspects to their education coming up in the future. So parents procrastinate like taxes. They put it off. It's a big no-no. Start thinking about the process right away in their sophomore, at the very, very latest, their junior year.
Okay, and you say there are some changes in the process that people need to be aware of.
Well, changes in eligibility for Pell Grants, SEOGs, items like that. The filing process pretty much is the same. You got the federal form, the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, the CSS profile, which is an institutional form that a lot of private schools utilize, which will ask more questions, by the way, more personal information. We can talk about that later if you wish. And then their own institutional form if they do not utilize the profile. And again, keep in mind the CSS profile and the college's institutional form is just that. It's not mandated by a federal law like the FAFSA. Colleges can ask more personal information, but on the family side of the fence, some of this information families do not have to disclose, and they don't know that.
When you talk about personal information, I mean, what are you talking about?
Well, we're talking about, they'll ask, for example, what is the value of your 401ks, 403bs, SEPs, or IRAs?
Oh, getting in there, yeah.
Well, parents will answer the question. They'll put the total amount down.
Which you don't have to.
You don't have to volunteer that information.
Interesting.
Some private schools will ask regarding year, make, and model of vehicles in the family. They'll ask questions regarding assets in the other sibling's name.
Yeah.
It doesn't
nothing to do with that student in that situation.
But parents volunteer that information, and then it goes against them.
Painting a bigger picture, exactly.
So the cost of college, we know, has been going up steadily over the last couple of years. And what do you tell families and parents who think that maybe a college that they've got their eyes on is too expensive?
Well, families and students should look at various colleges, private, public, and even in some situations, families are resorting to community colleges in the first 2 years of the education, which is a good thing for a lot of students because cost of education, or the economy the way it is, that's the only way some of these students can get into college. And we have, knock on wood, some of the best community colleges in the nation right here in Minnesota. So that's a blessing there. So families should be looking at that option. Apply to private if, academically, if the student is in that caliber, public schools and community colleges as a backup. But a lot of my clients are pleasantly surprised when they get that final financial aid award that was better than the first one. Then it's more affordable for the student to go to the school of their choice. So my recommendation, apply to at least 6 different schools, if not more. I mean, because the bottom line, Alex, Keith, the more colleges the student applies to, the more they're accepted to, then again, you have more financial aid, coming in the spring, March and April, this time of year right now.
Set the bigger table, so to speak.
Yes.
And you get more to eat at the end of it. And now, we talk about, you think about it, you want all that you can grab, loans or scholarships, but that's not necessarily the case. There are some things you should avoid.
Well, most definitely. I always highly recommend, the last resort is private loans. High interest rates. Families should focus on, number one, the free money, of course, most free money, and then utilize the colleges or the federal subsidized loans, subsidized Stafford and Perkins. Never turn down the subsidized loans. It's free. I mean, there's no interest occurring over the duration of the student's education, and friendly repayment terms at the end of the education.
All right. Well, Ron, thanks so much. Great tips. If you are thinking about, you might need some financial aid down the road. Ron Ramsdell from College Aid Consulting. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
And for more of Ron's tips, log on to morecollegemoney.com.